Anyone else? Yes?
Everybody poops. What do you do about human waste management?
That's an excellent question. Listen, I have never seen a zombie movie where they have a fortress and people are just crapping on the floor. Because that will happen. Eventually someone will be like, oh my god, they're breaking through. Quick, get to the weapons locker. Oh! Who's been crapping in the weapons locker? No. Therefore you need another specialist. You need a waste disposal expert and an assistant waste disposal expert. And that's all they do. Have fun. And since you brought it up, that's going to be your job. So with you, there's your assistant. Anyone else? Did anyone? Okay. Who's that? Who's next? Yes, you.
What do you think the average age of your group should be?
Oh, the average age? I wouldn't bring any freaking baby boomers, I'll tell you that. But I'll tell you one thing, they'll just, you see, the problem is, when I was a kid, when I was your age, we had a World War II generation, and they were old, and I know, and they were annoying, and they had weird smells and whatever, but they freaking stopped Hitler, so they still got it in them. So I knew back then that, like, Grandma and Grandpa could whip some ass. This new generation of old people, what the hell are they good for? They'd be like, oh my god, can I buy it, can I sell it, can I snort it, can I screw it? That's it. That's all they care about. So don't bring any of them with you. They can tune in and turn on and drop out. You might not want to bring my generation either, because we'll just be like, man, we're screwed. We're cynical. Oh man. Anyone else?
Leg injuries, you just let them die, or you just...
I was waiting for that one. There's always one. Stand up. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. All right, Josh. Everyone, we're vetting now. Just so you know, in a zombie situation, if you join Josh's group and you get a leg injury, he will leave you. Thank you, Josh. Moving on. Yes?
Is it better to have animals with you? Because it was mentioned, the guy, how having dogs could be good for set up for traps or warning alarms. So.
Oh, wait, do you mean like a dog that will bark and warn you, or like tying a dog to a lamppost and waiting for zombies to come? No, that's because they both have merits, but I'm just saying, whichever choice he makes, you won't need to know that. Which one would you do?
I like dogs, so...
Okay, dog person. So, here's the thing. You should bring, if you want to bring a dog as a warning, that's great. Be aware of the kind of dog that you bring. I have a miniature dachshund. Will not shut up. Anyway, I gotta bring her. She's my dog. What am I gonna do? But still, that would tend to reduce my stealth abilities. So yes, bring a dog. Oh, and incidentally, the good news is, and I always get asked what would happen if you have a favorite pet and it gets bitten. If you have a favorite pet, dog or cat or whatever, it will not zombify. So you're lucky. It will not zombify. It'll just die. Anyone else? Yes? What country would most likely survive? I think it depends on the country. I wrote a book called World War Z, in which some countries did quite well, some countries did alright, and some countries did not survive at all. Iceland, yay! Yes, because apparently Iceland can not only survive a zombie attack, they can't even survive a financial crisis. That whole freaking country just imploded. I think they actually are back to living on seals at this point. Nice going, Vikings. I think it depends. I think that things change. I think the USA would actually do pretty darn well. Not initially. We're always the last one to the fight. We're always the one that gets blindsided. We're always the one who's like, oh my god, who knew Japan was a warlike nation? Who knew there were people in the Middle East that hated us so much? Who knew the Russians could make rockets? Wow, we were making hula hoops. We're always the last to the fight. The good news is, we do tend to finish it. You know, man, somebody bombs our harbor, we freaking freaking nuke them. Somebody smashes a plane into a tower, we shoot the dude in the face and throw him off a boat. Ha! So, I think it's pretty good. Now, not saying that there's not going to be problems, because listen, if we do actually come together in a World War Z scenario, there's going to be some political blowback. There's probably going to be the Z Party, and they're going to be like, I'm not paying for this. Your anti-zombie protection plan, who's going to solve that? I want you to cut taxes. Let's start with your Social Security. What? So, if you want to stay and fight and lead this country, go for it. There's going to be a little resistance, but listen, that's how we do this here. That's how America rolls. Anyone else? Yes?
In your book, you mentioned in Saudi Arabia they burned all the oil fields. Could you, I guess you said nobody knows, could you give me a hint?
Give you a hint of what? How they burned them?
Why
they didn't let them match? You know.
Why
Why
they did it?
they did it? I didn't have to make that up. You know that's actually true. You know that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it's not supposed to be called Saudi Arabia, it's Arabia. The House of Saud took over the country, and then they called it Saudi Arabia. Alright? That would be like if I became president, that would become the United States of me. Okay? And if they go down, they're taking the whole freaking country down with them. Okay? Because that's it. Because for some reason, I don't know why, God seemed to put oil under the most violent, backward people in the world in Saudi Arabia and Texas. And that's what they did. Why were they blessed? I don't know. Maybe this is a divine plan. So yes. Anyone else? Yes.
Would a horse or a bike be better?
Would a horse or a bike be better, Josh? That's a good question. Well, Josh, I think we know what's going to happen when that horse breaks a leg. Moving on. Yes.
Purifying water is boiling enough, or do you have to do more than that to make sure the water's safe?
No, well, here's the problem. You can boil out the bacteria, but then there's like heavy metals and stuff like that. I think boiling is probably your best bet, but then if you boil, you're going to need to start a fire, it's going to make smoke, it's going to make light, it's going to attract things. So figure out, like, just carry some little purification pills or have a little water pump, just something. And that way, which is true, when I was your age, I worked for something called the BBC, and I was in Africa, and that's what I had. And just, okay, all right, now I can wash my face. So you'll just go to your local REI. You guys camp here, don't you? You have trees. So, and you say, what's the best, easiest, cheapest way to purify water? And don't take anything with batteries. Because this is the problem in this country. We love batteries in everything. My wife bought a computer with the keyboard, had batteries in it. And sure enough, one day I went and tried to log on, batteries are dead. So anything that has batteries can die. Something simple and easy to purify water.